No one is really talking about hip flexor and hamstring strength to help perfect your Fuete turns and make them super consistent, and that's what today's video is going to be about. Hello dancers again, welcome to the channel. My name is Kendall and I am going to help you today with 2 exercises to help your Fuete turns and keep turning for days. So all you need for today's video is a resistance band, and if you don't have a resistance band, I'll try to give you an alternative so you can still feel the right muscles working for that exercise. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Firstly, I'm going to show you how to do a Fuete turn, just a quick step-by-step. Hopefully you already know how to do it, and if you don't, feel free to keep rewatching the video and rewinding so you can really get the basics down, and then we'll add in those exercises after that. So, firstly, I'm going to put my band down, and I'm going to start in a 4th position turned out. One arm is forward into first, one arm is out to the side in second position, but notice how I'm turned out and I want you to keep a little bit more weight onto the front leg. So I'm gonna hold here, I'm going to do a little swivel and lift up that back leg. So I'm going from 4th position, swivel and turn. Now, when you're doing this, I actually want you to lean forward slightly. So when you stop, you can hold it there. That's step 1. Once you have that, we can add opening the leg. So you start from that 4th position again, plie, open. Ooh, too much momentum there. And then you go up on releve and try to hold it out to the side like that. All right, let's put that together just for one turn. Start in 4th position, plie, open, and close. All right, we add on and we keep going plie to the corner, open to the side. Plie to the corner, open to the side. So that is the consistency of the Fuete turns, but what makes Fuete turns different from a la seconde turns is that we are bending this knee to a passe position every time. So I start here, I turn, and I bring it, oof, slippery back here, and I bring it into a turned out passe position each time. So this is the Fuete part, is when I'm pulling the leg in nice and tight and bending that knee, okay? That is the Fuete turn. Make sure you are spotting to the front and your plie is to the corner every time. Now, grab your resistance band. We're gonna do an exercise for the hamstrings to help you pull the knee in nice and tight and get to passe every time. So, come down on the floor, grab your band, and bring it right around the arches of the feet. We're gonna lay onto our stomach for this one. And we're gonna do a hamstring curl. So that means one leg is gonna stay straight, the other leg is gonna be moving. I like to lay down on the floor like this. But once you have that position there, make sure you're not lifting your butt up and arching your back as you do this. I want your back to stay nice and still. One leg, pulling on the band, bending, straightening back out. Bend it in and out. You should feel right behind the knee, those muscles engaging here. Try it about 10 to 12 times on each side. Usually about 2 to 3 sets of this exercise, or 2 to 3 rounds. So that means you'll do 12 on each side, you'll rest for a minute, and then do another round. And I want you to notice if you have any differences between the right and left side. Make sure to note that. That might mean that you have a muscle imbalance that needs to be a little bit more evened out. So that is exercise 1. If you don't have a resistance band, you can do that exercise, the same exercise without a band, but you're not necessarily going to feel the hamstrings working. So that's when I suggest doing something like a hamstring focused bridge. So that would be, you have both legs straight out onto the floor, slightly bent, but further out than you normally would for a glute bridge. And then I'm gonna bring my hands down on the floor, lift the hips up, and down. With your feet further out, you're gonna feel more of your hamstrings. When your feet are closer in, that's when you feel more glutes. So you can do this with both legs. You can do it with one leg. You could try digging the heels into the ground to lift to make it a little bit more intense. That would be your alternative exercise. The last exercise I'm going to show you is actually for the hip flexors. And this is a hip flexor endurance exercise that really mimics that external and internal rotation of the hip, as well as, or not as much internal, hip flexion, bringing the knee up, and external rotation as you're kind of swiveling the leg around up in the air, that actual Fuete part. So I'm going to stand up, stand in first position, bring one leg up about 90 degrees. Or halfway up. All I'm going to do is move my foot in a circle, and I'm going to try to keep this knee, maybe hold on to the wall if you need it. I'm going to try to keep this knee still, okay? No hands. You're going to feel right at the crease of your hips starting to burn. You can also try reversing. And relax. Try that on the other side. I usually do about 20 to 30 seconds. Lift the leg up, little circles, keeping that leg up nice and high. This is also a good drill to prep for what it feels like to actually do the Fuete part with your leg. But I also like to use it as a hip flexor endurance exercise too, especially when you're doing multiple Fuete turns and you're going to be using those hip flexors the entire time. You don't want them to get tired too quickly. All right, let's try to put it together into a full Fuete turn. I haven't done Fuete turns in a long time, I'll be honest with you, so we'll see how this goes. All right, starting in a fourth position, arm out to the side, arm forward. I'm gonna go into that swivel plie, open, pull it in, plie, open, pull in, plie, open, pull in. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, hopping. All right, that was not bad. So I was hopping a little bit to the side, which tells me that I was not really going into a full plie as much as I should have and pushing into the ground as much as I could have. So that's something that you need to be focusing on as well, especially if hopping is a problem for your turns. Maybe not just the Fuetes, but also your a la seconde turns. If you have any questions about these exercises or your Fuete turns, please drop it in the comments below. And guys, I created a workout plan that is specifically going to help you with your turns. Not just Fuete turns, not just a la secondes, regular pirouettes, coupes, pencil turns, all of those fun turns that are going to help you stay nice and solid with your alignment and have a strong standing leg. So it's a 6-week program. It's called All About Turns. It gives you 2 workouts per week, and you get to use the BodyKinect app, which shows you all the exercises with videos, with notes, and gives you a plan that you can follow. I'll put more information in the description below about the training plan if you're interested in checking it out. I will see you guys in the next video.